a good distraction, but EG wasn't really get out of it. A call down on top of the ramp, 10 moves forward, and here comes Anna going on top of Arteezy. Where's the opening still? Fly's going down, you just cannot take this sparkle bite. Another jump in from trying to smell the backlines. There's no more BKBs. There's no more roles to trying to smell the backlines. And Arteezy no more BKBs. There's no more roles to take to work with. And Arteezy with a solo on the line. This may just be it with none of them left. This may just be it with none of them left. OG will not let up. And Tom's like, okay, inside your base. I remember doing this in game 2. Okay, inside your base. I remember doing this in game 2. The scenario is slightly different this time around. Still objectives to take. And EG still want to try and fight. This time around, jumping objectives to take. Anna once again still want to try and fight. Fly jumping in, Thomas is there. Anna once again will sacrifice himself. Will even be a sacrifice. Samel will sacrifice himself. Will even be a sacrifice. Samel can't get the kill. Thompson, he starts the toss-up. A remake. And that's GG. On the TI9 semi-final. A remake. Going to a on the TI9 semi-final between OG and EG. Game 3. A decider between OG and EG.
Relatively grim at one point. We were starting to consider if they were going to OG in this game, but relatively grim at one point. They were starting to join their team fights. They got a couple of really good ones. They came online with their void. They joined the team fights. They got a couple of really good ones. Tons of kills in this game compared to game 1. Keeping OG basically kind of even by doing that. They never really got far ahead early on in the game, but kind of even by doing that, they never really got as far ahead early on in the game. But their timing, they secured that they hit hard when they got it.
Yeah, they did, and man, that's going to hit hard for Evil Geniuses. Yeah, they did, and man, that's going to hit hard for Evil Geniuses. Now, Love Our Nortel even just stops for a moment. Looking back, it's like, come on, man. Everybody together. Even just stops for a moment. Looking back, it's like, come on, man. Everybody together.
These two teams in this game.
Let's walk out of here. We're good.
There's obviously many differences, but one of the really big things OG with the save. There's obviously many differences, but one of the really big things in this game with this Oracle save. EG. No-Tail has a huge impact in this game with this Oracle save.
Series tied 1-1.
They couldn't match it.
Well, let's see who can save it out.
That is the way we like it. A game 3 between these two titans. We like it. A game 3 between these two titans. Redo of last year, just the other way around, you know, but going the distance is always a joy to watch these two teams play. We're going to break down the game a little bit. Grant, I want to go start with you because, you know, you watched your boys play and they didn't cut it this time around.
No, they didn't. It was an insanely good draft from OG. As he said, right, if you last pick your 5, it better have a huge impact, and it did. Save after save. Tops and middle played an extraordinary game. I mean, Sumail did. Both middle players were probably some of the best players that game, but Thompson, he ran around, made a ton of space. Arteezy's life was hell for like 15 to 20 minutes. He had absolutely no impact.
It was a tough game for him for sure. It looked great though. What do you got? What do you got for us tonight? Why are you pointing to these stats? What do you see here that you find worth pointing at?
Thompson's KDA ratio 13-4-15. This man participated nearly in every single engagement. That last toss into the Chronosphere, and there's something very specific that you mentioned, Grant, that Arteezy's life was hell.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you exactly why it was hell.
Ooh.
Gentlemen, what do you know about vision? Blitz?
It's pretty important.
It's pretty important. Yeah. That is correct. Tell me what exactly this thing is.
That's a ward.
That's a ward. That's an observer ward. And they last for a great deal of time. So, you know, they get placed at some point in time. You move on with your life, blah, blah, blah. But Thompson always takes advantage of these situations. He sees Arteezy farming the jungle. He wants to make sure that this is never a comfortable situation for him. Kills him easy. That ward, everybody gets one. Can you get 2 with the same ward? Let me tell you something. You can. As we see here, it is yet again the same ward. And Arteezy is yet again farming the same area. This camp, it's all the same to Thompson. He just wants kills. He's going to toss in Jerax. You'd think he'd have an Aghanim Scepter. No, it's only 10 minutes into the game. That was just a tiny toss. So much vision control here, and Thompson just continues dominating the entire map. You see here, Mirana has nowhere left to go. She can't go north, she can't go east. Gets a Thompson to the face, and he's still not done. Sees Fly cruising around the mid lane. He's just gonna keep on prowl. I don't even know what you would call that walk cycle from Thompson. Perfect fissure block from Jerax. Fly's cornered like a rat.
If you were a millennial.
Down he goes.
I know a lot of people talk about farming patterns.
Yep.
This TI. This is more like kill patterns.
Systematic.
Systematic slaughter.
Yeah, just, I mean, as he said, the first time RTZ dies to that ward, you're like, all right, the fact that no one went out and dewarded it, like, you had to know there's a ward there, just a little bit of a misplay. 2 deaths on a TB from 1 ward is very impactful, as Tsunami just showed.
Yeah, that was crazy, actually. And we talked about, Will, if OG could recover, reset, relax, and go back into this second game clean. It felt like they came back with a plan. It looked not completely clean, but definitely a lot cleaner than game 1.
Oh, for sure. And I don't know if OG games are ever really that clean. Like, they're a little bit clowny because they're willing to fight you on any terms. Like, as soon as they hit their item timings, I feel like this team is like, it's go time. We're just going to engage nonstop. So sometimes it's going to look a little bit awkward like we saw, but when it goes well, it goes really well.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to, like, the team fight, right? One side had a Void and an Earthshaker. The other side, like, what's your biggest team fight? You have a TB, a Mirana, an Ogre. You don't have these end-all, be-all spells, so eventually, if they hit those spells, you're going to lose because you're all single target.
Yep, you are indeed. Now, we have a little bit of time before we get this third game going, which means I can finally get to ask Blitz the question. What was the story?
Oh, okay.
Wait, what story?
He's been saying that he had a story, and we didn't have time on the first panel. We didn't have time on the second panel, and now finally, you know, this is a high building for me. What is the story?
All right, so we're at ESL Birmingham.
This year or last year?
Last year. And I heard rumblings that they were going to get... I didn't know about Fly, but I heard about S4. That was like the first thing that had happened. So, of course, OG did pretty terrible at the tournament, and I went up to Seb at the end of the tournament, and I was like I thought he knew about the kick. That's what this was about. I thought he knew about the kick.
No.
So I go up to him, and I was just like, rough times, man. And he's like, it's only ESL. Like, it's all good, man. I was just like, wait, what are you talking about? And he's just like, it's just ESL. It's not that big of a deal. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, I got to backpedal onto this. And he saw my face, and he was trying to figure it out. And then he just left it alone. And later on, he told me that's how he knew stuff went down the way that it went down.
So you're a snitch?
No, I wasn't trying to be. I thought I was trying to be because I like Seb. He was talented too. We briefly, for like 3 days, made a team together. So he was like, hey. I was trying to console him. I was like, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
He's just like, why? CSL, who cares?
Yeah, I was just
I've never been whatever.
So wait, is that the only TI player you've played with?
I didn't even play. Here's how it went down. It was like, he was talent. Remember at TI5?
TI4.
We were TI5 together.
At 5
like
as well.
And he was just like, hey, we should play together. And I was like, okay. And then I played like 2 days, and I was like, I'm not good. Like, I'm going to hold you back.
You kicked yourself?
I'm going to be real here. Yeah, I played with Sin too for a bit, and I was like,
wow.
This is a bad idea. I shouldn't do this. And BSJ, in fact. I played with like everybody. I played with 2 of the people on that panel at some point. I played with Purge, and Febby ditched me famously in Korea.
Hey, but you were Purge. You guys were pretty successful, right?
For 3 months, yeah.
Yeah,
What about those other 9? Did you bring that? Do you want to talk about those? That was like 4.
You're a Nexon League champion, Purge.
Yeah, I got the trophy.
Okay.
I was the only one that wanted it. Everyone was like, I don't care. You can have it.
You still have it?
Yeah, of course I still. I'm not just going to throw that away. Where are you going to get one of those in 20 years?
You want to know what we did with our money? The first thing we did when we won that, we went to a Taco Bell in Korea.
Oh.
That's what
Oh,
Bambo
God, we
wanted to
did,
do.
yeah.
That's the way I would celebrate.
And Monte Cristo was there.
Yeah, Monte Cristo was there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, panel
I
looked
am
like most of the people
disappointed.
here.
Taco Bell?
I'm impressed. Purge, you're a man after. Blitz, you're a man after my own heart.
We saw the EG, right, be super American. When I first got here, you know what we did? First thing I know we had to do, Blitz was with me. We hit up the Chili's in China, and it was amazing.
We actually straight up went to a chili. That was the first restaurant I've been to in Shanghai. You know that? Like, that's the actual first restaurant I've been to in Shanghai.
I am impressed and disappointed at the same time, and I did not know that was possible.
Impress-appointed.
Impress-appointed. I'm sure someone that is impress-appointed an awful lot is someone else on our broadcast team. It is Sir Action Slacks. What are you doing?
What am I doing? Shaver, I'm in the crowd. It's still electric out here. You know, it might be a little late, but Shanghai never goes to sleep when there's good Dota. And speaking of which, sir, how you doing this evening?
I come from the OG, and
You came to see OG. What do you think? Pretty good comeback?
In fact, I'm the LGD fans.
You're an LGD fan, but this series
I want to see LGD Revenger.
Yes!
So I will support for OG today.
Oh, I think we all want to see that. Sir, who are you supporting?
Actually, LGD Gaming. But I'm also a EG fan.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Why do you want to see EG win?
Because I'm the fans of Atom.
Oh.
Right. I play in like 6 years.
Who isn't a fan of R-Tor? Now, I asked you two in particular to come up because you had two people that didn't want to be on camera. Madame, why didn't you want to be on camera, my dear?
Hello.
And we also have this man who didn't want to be on camera. Why didn't you not want to be on camera, sir?
Sumisa.
Oh, where are you going? Oh, this guy really doesn't want to be. Hello, my friend. Hello, how are you?
5.
You're fine. What do you think of the series, sir? Hello? Stay with him. Oh, my friend, I'm so sorry. Can you at least give us a let's go somebody? Who's your favorite team?
LGD.
All right, give me a let's go LGD so you look badass.
Let's go LGD.
You did your best. All right, guys, we still got energy? Are we still awake in this arena? Let me hear it. A little bit. Woo! One guy back there's got it. All right, yeah! Woo, I was worried there, Shiva. That was a close one. Thank you very much, guys. Hope you still got energy on that panel.
Oh, we definitely do, and I'm already looking forward of seeing the guy that was videotaping the whole thing and seeing his perspective.
Oh, man. That's great. I love it. Like, yeah, I'm rooting for OG. I mean, LGD. I mean, OG. I mean, they're good.
Yeah. Why don't you want to be on camera? Well,
Perfect.
Let me just put you in a headlock real quick.
all right. Well, we have a little bit of time, and I'm gonna make you guys feel old. You ready?
Okay.
Yes.
I'm always ready.
All right. We've been talking about Sumail and how he won his first TI.
Mm-hmm.
This is his 5th TI.
What? That can't be true.
It is true.
Why would that make Grantfield hold? He's 19.
Yeah. I don't look a day over 16. I'm feeling great.
What is that?
I don't know. He's making me feel good. No, it's crazy. I remember the first time I actually met Sumail. It was a D2L, the only tournament I've ever went to in Vegas.
Yeah.
And he was so young. That's the famous picture with all the Chinese players behind him watching it.
Oh, yeah.
He looked so young, and I remember that tournament. It was not a very good tournament, and Sumail, he didn't look good. Like, honestly.
He was
picked
super
him up.
nervous.
Yeah, he was, and it didn't help that there was 40% packet loss during the whole tournament. But, like, this guy, he got last place. He lost to a team with Demon standing in on it. So I was like, this guy can't be the future. And then, Q forward 6 months, he's winning a TI, and what do you know?
Didn't EG produce that tournament?
Back to you, Sheever.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
no, but
Conrad
there was some affiliation.
Yeah,
true.
there was strong affiliation. Conrad was like the guy who ran production.
Well, it was just a trial tournament to get Sumail comfortable with playing
And it worked.
on stage. It worked because after that they went to DAC 2015. They went to China. They went to Shanghai and they crushed it.
They went on a storm. That was like that was EG's best time.
Storm.
Probably.
I see what you did there. A
Thank
storm.
you.
I get it.
Yeah, what a journey that has been. It's been actually crazy that EG always has been very high at the top in a lot of internationals, and right now, I mean, even if they don't win the next game, they're still top 6, right? Yes,
Well,
which is still really good, and I'm assuming that they're.
I don't think either team's okay with that, though, right? If you ask OG or EG, are you okay with the top 6? They're going to be like, no, it's a win or nothing. It's a win or we don't give a shit kind of thing.
Well, you tell me. We're about to see these players take the stage for the 3rd time in this series. Do they look like they will be okay at being top 6? No. That is the face of someone who wants to take his 2nd international. Where's first?
Same
And
here.
a second. We actually have 7 TI winners taking the stage right now, and 8 if you count coaches.
It is. That is absolutely crazy. And they both look confident, right? Like neither team's coming up kind of sad. You see Sumail leading the way, smiling. No Tail on the other side doing the exact same thing. We're just ready for some good Dota.
We really, really are. Now we know that the the best thing to deal with OG is ban out the IO and the mag. We've seen OG do that, or sorry, EG do that both times around. I'm assuming it's going to be happening again. I'm curious to find out what makes these two teams, even if they don't have the IO and the mag, what makes these two teams be such a good match for each other, because they do tend to push each other to the limits.
They do.
Will, you want to take this one?
I think it's they have like a similar way of playing, and I don't mean like in terms of like early late game. I think it comes down like to the item timings. It's when Arteezy and Anna say like we're both ready to fight at this point. So, and they're willing to push each other at different points. Like, and also they're really highly skilled too. So it just sort of leads to like a nice chess match where one team wants the game to go and end at one point, and conversely it's true too. Like, if you see how they play Void, for example, and like how he rotates, he wants to hit his item timing first. He wants like one kill item. Same with Thompson, and that's like generally how they move around. And EG is sort of similar. They're just a little bit slower paced.
Yeah.
In that way.
I think it's always Arteezy wants that second item.
Yeah.
Usually, because he went like first item BKB, right? He went like Yasha BKB this game, I believe.
Yeah, and I think it's because he realized like he probably had to fight a little bit earlier than he would have liked.
Yeah.
I like how they just push each other, and plus like the rivalry aspect of it, I think always just makes the game a little bit more hype.
Yeah, it does. They're never just going to go down like, sure, game 1 was a stomp, but that's exactly why it comes back to game 2. It's never going to be a straight up 2-0 stomp. No matter what people think, no matter who's the best team in the world, like they're always going to push each other.
And you know how often it is, we like a good story, and we like it when there's, a little bit of spice in there too. And often the players are like, you know what, I don't care who I play. I just want to win. This time, we know they care.
Yep.
They all changed their profile pictures on Steam to place the banners to No-Tail's face when the handshake happened. Which, by the way, there will be a handshake. We don't know which one yet, but there will be a handshake after the next game. I mean, I personally love the drama.
I mean, to be fair, that was some of the times you said that even other players want to do it for the memes. They play it up because they find it humorous as well. Almost the shipping culture that happens whenever these rivalries are formed.
Yeah, Matuma Man said that if for whatever reason, like his dream was to play against Liquid in the lower bracket, and if he knocked him out, he was gonna do like a fake angry handshake when he walked past. Yeah. I was like,
but he was expecting to be knocked out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Shiva, they got 18.
But that means he didn't think that he would win.
Let me just say the expectations were, they were as is.
I mean, that being said, I do hope that people can like separate the entertainment aspect versus the actual drama aspect, because obviously we like talking about this kind of stuff. I don't know what Fly's thinking. I don't know what No-Tail's thinking. These people are real people with real families, real lives, and that kind of stuff. And so I think it's important that viewers and us can kind of separate the concept of, what happens here whenever the cameras go off, when the GGs are called. These people continue leading their lives. And so you don't necessarily need to like push your drama on it.
I can assure you, after all that happened, though, it was real beef.
Yes,
There was no fake drama in that.
But it's been a year at this
OG
point.
it has been, but how would you feel about that? You just saw OG, the team who's pretty much just making fun of you the whole year, go and win that TI. A year later, you're here again. I feel like the same feelings are definitely coming back up again.
Yeah, I feel like that is true for a lot of people, the point you made. So now, I mean, it's true. Like, for example, if you look at Kuro and Puppy, they are rivals, and we like to play that up. But in reality, they are respecting of each other, and they're both happy at the place they're at now, as we saw in an interview earlier today.
Although, didn't Kuro say in that interview, "Are we friends?"
Yeah, that was a joke, though.
Oh, okay.
Or
You say so.
Invited him to his wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
Kuro was at Puppy's wedding.
What if it was the red wedding?
Oh, yeah, well.
I was at the wedding. I'm still alive.
Okay, so it was good. All right, Shiva, thank you for confirming. I was getting nervous, but we're
It's all good. It's all good. No, I think that this is some drama that, I call it drama, some friction that is definitely real.
Things need resolution.
Yeah.
Not the player.
This is true. You know what we also...
Sorry.
We need some Dota 2 to be played. We need a Game 3. But for that, we need a draft. We need some heroes chosen. So let's go to that draft.
OG versus Evil Geniuses. Game 3.
The deciding game 3 coming up in just a second. The winner of this is going to go on to face LGD in the winner bracket final. A huge match. There is some crazy repeat storylines that could happen here. I don't know which way it's going to go, though. What do you guys think?
Not too sure, but it's looking like Enchantress is a pretty hot one that's going to be contested. It might be deciding quite a bit here in this matchup, as we saw lanes were really important in that last game. Of course, also the big team fights, but it does feel like Enchantress seems to just like set you up to have that like great advantage coming out of the laning phase.
Enchantress is Enchantress, but I just realized like the mid lane is so important. I think both games, whoever won mid just had the game on their backs. Like Thompson, a super hyper aggressive mid player who, you know, if the advantage is given, as I say that, they pick Enchantress again.
So almost exactly the same bans. The only difference is Elder Titan was in the first phase instead of Ancient Apparition, similar to the first game draft, except pick order is flipped as well.
So as I was saying, I think like this Thompson, this Sumer, these two players just love to kill heroes, and if they're given the advantage, they're just gonna go for blood. So I think the mid matchup is really important between these two teams.
Yeah, I want to see, in particular, at least for OG, I want to see them playing something that just run around and make kills happen with like the Monkey King or the Tiny. EG, they're going to deny that. They're actually going to take the Tiny away this time around.
I feel like one of the strengths that Thompson has as a player is his ability to just like go insane. He makes your opponents look like pub opponents, is what it seems like. And he was able to do that last game. He got 3 kills like Tsunami showed within a matter of 1 minute. It was insane to watch. Can he do that again without Tiny? Like, what's the hero substitute that would solve that?
That's why I said
Does
Monkey
he need
King.
to do it? Monkey King is definitely one of those heroes that he does it with, but can you beat a Tiny in lane with Monkey King? I guess he has no armor at level 1. It could work.
I used to see the matchup actually a lot last year, and it was like pretty back and forth. I think the Monkey King won most of those though.
Okay.
But it's also the mid game is like concerning too, because you can also just get burst down.
And there's a roaming Mirana.
And there's going to be a roaming Mirana.
Yeah, the Ava toss into an arrow, it can be very devastating.
Yeah.
Is this going to be Thompson Invoker again?
This is probably flex pick, right? I think it can still be Jarax's hero for sure. I think you leave it open until you see what lane you're against for sure in the mid lane. And I think when you have the Enchantress, it allows you the luxury of actually being able to go for a little bit more of a greedy 4 position, because Enchantress just is Enchantress and has a pretty good lane.
So you can put a weaker hero with her, and then it'll transition into late game well, and the laning stage won't be terrible, right?
Yeah. And like Enchantress, like I talked about, game 2 needs some AoE teamfight control, and Invoker provides that.
Yep.
On position 4, so yeah, it can be a position 4.
They're actually going to ban the SD finally. Wasn't being banned out in the last 2 games, but this time I guess because they do have that Mirana, and they're not maybe wanting to have a save this time around, because last time, right, they saved that Oracle for last pick to save versus the combo.
Yeah, that's right. Basis Void was integral for OG in the late game. In the mid game, he ate a lot of arrows. Maybe a good thing, but yeah, not going to have that this game. So it's going to be a lot harder for OG to set up guaranteed teamfight wins later on.
Yeah, Void and Invoker is such a devastating combo together. The Void Chrono into Cataclysm in the late game is pretty devastating, so I think they're just taking that out.
I love seeing, you know, TI is so great because you always like do the full circle back to like either super carries getting picked up like anti-mage, or it's just like these massive team fight lineups that just constantly are battling. Like you were mentioning in the last game, we had 50-something kills in the 40-minute mark, or even more than that, something like that. It's just non-stop aggression, non-stop fighting, non-stop trying to take these battles. And usually the team with the better team fight at the TI main stage ends up having an easier time, at least at executing.
It just really helps when you have a hero that can grasp win. Like, you know where they are, you see them, you can jump in, hard disable them, guarantee kills. That makes a huge difference. It really helped against the Terrorblade, especially. Once you Chronosphere him, you're like, okay, if you don't have a save, you're dead, period. It makes the game a lot easier.
Especially for these teams too. I think EG, OG, compared to like these Chinese teams, they really love to fight early and just like spill a lot of blood.
We'll see if they can do the same thing. Centaur banned now. Mobile hero, burst damage, has a pretty good time getting his team on top of the enemy team. So maybe they're worried about the carry versus offlane matchup. What do you guys think?
It can be a setup for the Mirana arrow later on, and it's either Sanking or Centaur, and EG doesn't have ET this time around, so Centaur ban does make a bit of sense.
So you think Sanking's not as bad now? Because the ET's not there?
Yeah, it's definitely worse, because Sanking Mirana, the dual combo, yes, the damage is there, but it's too like one-dimensional.
the damage. Like it's bad against BKBs. It's gonna fall off eventually because the damage is linear. It doesn't scale well.
Then go for the CM that they used in the first game. I think this is also just dictating that they want to play really aggressive like they did with the CM last time.
Yeah.
Allows everyone to just be constantly on the map more because you always have that aura. You can always keep pushing out lanes. You can always keep playing aggressive, and you can even threaten an aggro tri-lane as we saw them do with that CM in the first series, or in the first game.
It's a good form of damage from position 5 towards the Enchantress too, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. Our Freezing Field, her ultimate, was really useful in a lot of cases against the PA as well. So,
Lifestealer looks like a pretty decent hero for OG here.
Yeah, I believe it got banned second phase in the first game in this similar situation.
Feels good versus all these just like high magic damage. Tiny is, sure you have high armor, but very high HP hero that Lifestealer really enjoys playing versus.
Yeah, the only time it's good versus Tiny, or for Tiny, is when he gets his Ags and you can do like range, heavy physical damage.
Could be a carry that OG could be looking at here, but I don't know if they'll pick it in the third. They might save it.
I mean, technically, they could have 0 supports on the board right now, a little bit abnormal.
Right. True.
Anything else really good? Ogre is still in the pool.
Juggernaut looks okay for OG as well.
Which hero?
Juggernaut.
Oh, okay. Yeah, similar as the Lifestealer.
Right.
Wow.
With this Rubik pick, it seems like it's an Invoker mid, right?
Yeah, that's what you think. This is actually cool. We saw now what the LGD series. I've been seeing a lot of teams actually picking the Rubik versus the Mirana now, just because you're likely to get a pretty damn good steal. Like everything is good. Leap is probably like your worst one, and it's a triple away to either get in or get out as a Rubik, which isn't bad to have. Arrow is a great spell because you're gonna get the extra duration. Starstorm as well, you get the amplification. I've really actually been liking that Rubik pick a lot that I've been seeing from teams today, versus that Mirana in particular.
Yeah, it's against CM too, which is another like it feels really great playing Rubik against CM. All her spurs are pretty nice. And you kind of can't ulti against Rubik because Rubik's CM ulti is so much stronger than your ulti.
Yeah. And even if he stuns somebody else, he can still possibly throw them into her.
Yeah.
Interrupt her ultimate.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was a really good Rubik pick, but I'm kind of afraid for this Invokers game. Like we saw in the game 1, I feel like Mirana can roam to mid. Meanwhile, like Rubik cannot kind of roam to mid to kill the Tiny. And Tiny versus Invoker matchup in general, Tiny seems to have the upper edge. And we don't even know if it's I guess it's a Tiny mid. Like it should be a Mirana for Tiny mid.
Yeah, that's what that's probably the more than likely.
Yeah.
We know Sumail loves to play Tiny as well, as we saw last year, of course, when he had the 30-something kills or whatever when he ran over the whole game.
It's like literally this match in this part of the bracket a year ago.
It's the same heroes.
The all-time kill record for a single game. Yeah. Got 30 kills. It was an insane match, and then Sumail still lost the match.
That was versus OG too, right?
Yes,
and that was the one. That was the
thing.
damage mitigation draft where they had Spectre, Io, Centaur, and I remember he's just running around and then he tossed Artesia into the tier 4s. Of course, that happened in that game.
Hey man, he got 30 kills. I do not care. You cannot say that one was Sumail's fault. He messes up once.
Ask VSJ about that. You know, he blames Sumail entirely for that game.
Really?
Yeah.
This pick's kind of throwing me off because it should be easy crit. Crit on Dark Willow is one of his favorite heroes. He's amazing at that hero too.
Yeah, wait a minute.
What about a 3 Mirana? I mean, really, Mirana could hypothetically lane in any situation.
That's true. I guess they could still do that 3 Mirana and then having this.
But 3 Mirana with a Willow, that seems too squishy. So I think it's a mid Mirana and Tiny offlane.
Okay.
That makes more sense.
That makes more sense, yeah.
Is it that squishy versus Rubik? I mean, Willow can get 2. You get Cursed Crown, toss that on a guy, that's an arrow, for sure. Plus Bramble Mace follow-up, maybe kill potential. And crits, Dark Willow is excellent.
Yeah.
And Dark Willow has tons of magic damage, so she's going to be able to kill the Enchantress. She's going to rush the Spirit Vessel. It kind of fits a lot of boxes. The only thing that's weird about it is it's going to force Mirana into a weird role, potentially. Not a non-standard for the current meta.
And they're going to go for that Jug now, especially versus the Willow.
Yeah,
I think it's so good versus that hero.
Lifestealer was an option too, I think. But I think
what makes Jug better?
I think OG, they're the healing ward. They can just keep on there's 2 heroes, the Nature's Enchantress is here and Juggernaut healing ward, so they can just keep being on the map.
Seconds to battle. I estimate. Now the battle begins.
This guy has no
Just what I was.
Sanking will have a better time up here, but Anti-Mage will also be avoiding the edge.
That was nice from Fly, right underneath the Juggernaut, grabs the rune. So it's 3 for 1.
Yep.
At the very beginning.
This aggro tri-lane from EG is very unorthodox, by the way. Crystal Maiden, Dark Willow, Anti-Mage aggro tri-lane.
It's like, you go for the Nova, then they have to navigate the Bramble at slow speed. Like, this can't last for long, can it?
Well, it's kind of good news for Ana, because he's good against this lane. But No-Tail could have a very hard time, and the question is how much farm he's going to get. Oh, that's some really good damage into Ana already, actually. They're playing without a healing salve.
Meanwhile,
bottom lane.
Yeah. Bottom lane, they go ham. Samael's taking a lot of damage. S4's having a hard time walking away from Jirax on the top. Got a nice observe ward onto, like, just on the other side of the trees. So they're able to see S4, any support that comes his way. Mainly the T-Ball from Fly.
He got 3 free hits in on Ana, just burning off the mana as fast as possible, so Ana has to dig into the Mango to spin later, and then, oh, that's
a great Bramble.
That's some serious damage.
Is he going to spin? He hasn't let anything up, and 6, yeah, 0. HP, Ana is down, Crit gets the reach.
He refused to skill spin because he feels like he needs healing or to sustain. And he TP's back down. He still hasn't put in his skill point and hasn't bought any extra regen. There's no salve still coming in. No-Tail had the gold for it. Honestly surprised that they didn't drop some regen and bring that with Ana's TP.
And now EG have the advantage. They're moving Fly to the top lane.
8 for 3 against 1-0. That's a tri-lane well executed in the start.
Bed. The jump came in, Thompson and Samael. What a surprise, killing each other under the tier 1 tower. Samael gets the kill, so he'll get the XP.
Yeah, big winner there, Samael. He got more gold, and he got the experience. So he's going to feel good about that one.
Because that's just the way the mid lane gets to work when it's a 1-1 trade.
Sometimes the guy who gets the kill second is not as unfavored as Thompson was in that exchange, but...
It's actually hilarious how they start again. Thompson's back under the tier 1 tower, beating into Samael. They both have to start munching on tangos and dropping down a half-life bottom lane. Arteezy, he's going once again on Ana. Ana still holding the spin as Arteezy drops low. They just want to get some experience into them. While S4 enchanted up, buying G-Rank some time to attack, and he's body blocking S4, trying to buy more time for Seb to get damage in, but S4 will just salve this off.
My sprites are with us.
In the meantime, bottom lane, they're out of regen. OG completely dry. Actually, never mind. Ana got a Tango pack left. But no salve still, no regen, no mana, no tail.
In the bramble. Kritus, like, working with Arteezy, you burn up the mana, and then it's just easy harassment from range.
The good news for OG, though, is the top lane is going well. Sep has great farm. They're shutting down the Tiny nicely, as they should be, with the head start they had. But the other two lanes going well for EG. And this time around, Arteezy's not getting shut down. And the way they've been playing this series so far, I think you can consider this an early lead for them. That is what they want. Anti-Mage to have a beginning that he can work with. Is that a healing? That's a Ring of Health flying out? No, it's a Wraith Band and some more regen for Arteezy. So he can keep on the pressure.
Just loving it. Even the fort was used. I think that was actually so the tree toss from S4 wouldn't get the kill on the range creep on top lane. They're really just trying to keep him down as much as possible, and they have. He's, as you said, he's 5 for 0. The lane's looking good, but bottom lane, Arteezy just gets more and more time to beat into him. And now another root blink forward from Arteezy. Notel navigating the brambles. He'll get the space, but he will not escape crit. Ana was trying to stand on top of him, I think, to make it a misclick from crit, but it won't work.
And I wonder how Ana's going to recover this time around. We saw in the Void game, the lane might have been a little bit hard, but he recovered nicely. This time around, it just feels harder. Their lane, this Rubik Jugger, how are they supposed to kill in this lane? It's an Anti-Mage and a Willow. Maybe you could get a lift on the Willow and toss it into a spin, but it's not enough damage, and the Anti-Mage is just flat out unkillable. Look at Willow just leaving Arteezy even to go into mid. They're trying to get Thompson Brambles.
Yep, Thompson! He was standing almost smack bang in the middle of one of crit, and he just moves a little bit further north and dodges.
Nice movement from Thompson there. That could have absolutely been a kill.
And what does Ana and Notel do instantly? All right, well, it's time to do some damage towards Arteezy. Hopefully I get one crit, and he got one.
Oh, he got tossed up top. Sep got tossed into the tower.
Too deep.
Oh no, he can't die here. That's real bad for OG's laning. That is such a big kill. Now Jerax might have to yield on the bounty runes too. He has no Enchantress to help him out, so OG will get 3 runes, or EG, sorry, will get 3 runes, maybe even 4. So Mail.
He's moving over for it. That's a
Seb is too late. Too. 4 runes and a kill on the Ench. Seb was out of position and got tossed.
I like how Fly is not even grabbing it. He's waiting it out. Maybe he can even get some bottle charges if he wants to help out. Jirax waiting on the top lane. S4's nearby. They'll go for the Frost. Quick Mango. Anything they've got. Jirax is in bits for the moment. The tree toss, a little bit off target. Jirax able to dodge. But this is some time that's being wasted by Samaya looking for this kill. He'll take the catapult up on top, but Thompson's in recovery mode in mid, while this rotation doesn't net a kill.
Are EG going to swap their lanes so Tiny goes mid now, or what's the plan here? Like leaving the lane empty like this is a bit odd.
I think they're trying to wait until S4 returns to the lane, and now the TP happens.
Now he's half a level behind Thompson, though.
Ana is getting forever rooted by crit on bottom lane. There's 1 Tango left. He'll have to consume the Mango in order to have enough to get the healing ward down, but how's he meant to be farming under here? And instantly taken care of by crit. There's no sustain at all. It's almost like there's no hope for Ana down here.
And crit gets that extra mana coming in constantly from the Maiden Aura. He might be dying here, though, if Notel gets the lift. Jerax is in range. Not anymore now. He's going to wrap around.
It's like, which one's real? I need to choose. I prefer to get the kill over on Arteezy, but it seems impossible unless they have full control. Pick up, throw down. Oh no! The spell shield's leveled up at 4, and Arteezy just trades places with Jirax. And then into Bramble. Arteezy just fought. S4's arrived with the avalanche. Crit. Level 2 in Shadow Realm has more than enough damage to pop Ana once more. His 2nd death of the game.
And that's going to be a Ring of Health for Arteezy now as well, coming in a second. Going to be furthering his lead in this lane, making the harassment that bit harder.
I almost feel like Seb is taunting to try and get EG to come back to him.
Oh, I'm sure he's muted. Don't worry about it. There's no way. He's absolutely muted. So, Anti-Mage with the Ring of Health will be that bit harder to harass now for the Rubik. He's going to continue his farming down here in the bottom lane.
It really
The big
feels
difference-
like Thompson's just had the last 3 minutes by himself in mid lane.
That's the biggest difference between this game and the other Invoker game, is that Thompson is having a much better time this time around, and we know what kind of tempo he can set for his team this kind of games. But does he have targets? It's hard to kill Willow as Invoker. It's hard to kill the Anti-Mage as Invoker. It's hard to kill Mirana as Invoker. And even the Tiny, the targets, it's easy to kill Nate. So that's nice.
It's almost like you need to pick up an Orchid in order to get the kills on these guys. So
I think he needs
counter you back.
He needs someone to combine with, but the best player for him to combine with is a Sankey. But he's
Bottom lane, EMP, they just need to change the sound to make sure there's no blink away and easy. Spell Shield won't help you there.
4-man gank, the lift.
And instantly back into mid lane, he'll miss one melee creep. So efficient from Thompson's rotation, but EG's trying one of their own. Under their own dire observer. Seb, you've been taunting for a while. You've been asking EG to kill you. And, well, you may get exactly what you wish for. Seb gets one level up in attendance, stick charges, but he's got the Curse Crown on him. He can't walk this off, but TP's coming in from Rubik. Nortel will look to create the space, and Seb, well, he can walk it off. Even with his tree toss from S4, I don't think he's got enough damage, and even Nortel dewards the ops.
Thompson being super annoying mid. RTZ does have the Maiden Aura though, so we'll get mana for Blink a bit sooner. Has the stick charges if he really needs to blink.
Seb just moving over. It's like, okay, well, Curse Crown me. Thompson's ready to fight. Thompson, in fact, please set stun me too. S4 able to do it, but Jirak, he gets a double stun of his own. They get the telekinesis grab over on S4, but Jirak, he's focusing over on Trick, using that cold snap for the control. S4 now comes up as well up the hill, realizes OG owned this part of the map with the infinite. He actually gets the damage. He'll die from the fall. Jirak, not the perfect layer, but it'll still work nonetheless. Samel, Ben, burned out of mana. He's bottle charging up. Seb needs to give the attendance over towards Thompson. Now they can turn their attack over. Fly, he's arrived as well. Looking for that damage. Have they got enough? Samel has the leap distance to get away to safety. And Crit, he wants to turn around. Thompson, again, that Curse Crown. It's going to get the stun. The quad, it will not be enough life and sustain to keep Thompson alive. And Samel will quite happily take that kill.
Man, there's so much happening on the map right now. And guess who the biggest winner is, as it always is with OG? Anna was bottom the whole time. So much space being made for him. He's caught up. He's actually overtaken Arteezy now after that very difficult laning stage in the beginning. The one kill they got bottom, and then this move mid created a lot of time for him.
10-minute runes, here we go again. If you thought it was going to simmer down, Jirax will take the bounty to begin with. They're looking over towards Chris. Jirax looking to actually cut through. It's a level 3 burrow, so he's not in range. And the Shadow Realm being used to just protect Crit for the moment. And he'll slap that extra attack into Nortel for sure. Meanwhile, Thompson alone in mid lane.
Yep.
It feels like the old classic, as you said, like Anna gets space, but then when you go down to deal with Anna, you deal with another lane, then Thompson gets space. Like, which poison do you want to die to here? The only other choice is to kill them all. EMP Tornado from Thompson in mid. Crit, he's ready to move around to work here with Fly. Samel will take the damage. Got the one charge with the Curse Crown, and Focus are walking out of here. He'll go invis, but it won't help him.
In the meantime, though, Arteezy is not getting a single creep. OG are putting their own pressure up top where Arteezy is playing. With the siege creep,
TP, RTZ jumps in, untouchable. That takes a long time to get one attack into Seb. He'll move into the trees. The attendance is they're going to wear off right now. But RTZ's blinked himself forward, so Seb is quite happy to do max damage to that anti-mage. A quick Curse Crown on Jirax. He's got Pyro Strike available, waits it out nicely, gets the stun through the Shadow Realm, and then dodges the arrow of Samael a little late. And now that leaves Crit stranded. There's little to no damage he can do to get any kind of rebuttal, and the rest of his team has left him for dead.
I think the arrow wasn't ready, or Samael would have definitely got that on the crown. Probably had a minor cooldown from the... Oh, did he even use it? I'm actually not sure. That was just...
On the ground? The arrow? It got thrown at the end, yeah.
Yeah, that was a guaranteed stun if he used it earlier, so maybe it was on cooldown there. S4 will be pressuring bottom while all this is happening, yes.
And what does Seb do?
Seb's gonna defend it for now. He just walks in.
And it's fine. What are these creeps gonna do? They'll swing their arms up in the air. For Detroit. A lovely city.
Damn it.
Oh, I got it before you!
Oh.
Hey.
My joke.
Hey, I got you with the Ghostbusters, man. I got you with the Ghostbusters.
Oh, I was not thinking about that.
Yeah. Does anyone even know what that song is, or are we just proving our age?
Everybody knows that song.
Really hope so. Most people don't even know what Bonanza is.
Secret up from S4. They want to try on Ana here. This kill is actually flat out impossible for these two heroes. He can spin TP out.
Yep. Problem with the Avalanche, never a permanent
He doesn't have a TP.
Oh, Shadow Realm will take out the healing ward. Jirax is nearby. He may have to burst to create some space, or he's just like, okay, Hannah, I'm sorry, man. You can only slash if you want to, but you're dead.
Oh, I didn't click him to check if he had a TP before that. But EG very clearly did, and they ran him down. That is a huge kill. He was the richest hero on the map. This seems to happen once or twice in every game. Ana's just being left alone and will get killed once in a while. These kills are big.
I remember the analyst panel, they're talking about like the way OG plays, like, hey, we're up on the top lane, and it was always Seb who was kind of the one who was out too far. It's like, hey, come and kill me. How many heroes did it take from EG to kill off the Juggernaut? Yeah, he's worth a lot, but then you get heavy damage into the tier 1 towers. Seb, who was the #1, they're giving more back into him, and he's going to try and return it in with a drums build early on. And just add that level of pressure. And meanwhile, Thompson also farming up. Straight into Spirit Vessel, no Hand of Midas on this Invoker.
And there's another big item coming up soon. This one is for EG though. It's going to be the dagger for S4 and 100 gold. Some really good targets for him in this game. A lot of the Radiant heroes don't have too much max health. The Rubik support dies very easily. The Invoker dies really easily. The Enchantress also dies easily if there's a little bit of follow-up. Speaking of Enchantress, they're actually, again, it's not happening.
No. There's more support coming in under the cover of smoke to both sides. Arteezy was being hunted, but Arteezy's game sense is tingling. And he just moves away and goes down to the Trinity camp we were talking about. Now, I'm being invaded in my own jungle. The Observers and Sentries now being dewatered with bottom lane. Seb, yep.
Okay.
Fly, okay. Hey, real CM's channel full duration.
They threw everything and the kitchen at it. Not just the sink that time.
Oh, they'll get a lot of it back. Sumail's found a regeneration rune in bottom river.
Sumail not skilling Moonlight Shadow, by the way. What is this? Not a single point in him? I mean, he could only have one, but he's level 10.
He went for the 200 health instead.
It can be really useful for his team. Like, it can be the difference maker, but whether AM survives a gank or not. Is that worth 1 point in arrow? How about that? Okay.
I was actually kind of wondering too, like how he would build in. We were kind of tossing up like where do you get a lot of your physical damage from? Like how do you make sure you like obviously there's no physical build coming in this time around. There's 200 health. We're not going to 15 damage, and he's going in for Aghanim Scepter. Huge lane clearance, and something that OG may not have an easy answer to. Like both cores are going for Battle Furies, but Anti-Mage as well as Mirana, they can clean waves up so quickly and they're so highly maneuverable.
Mid tower.
Yep. TP comes in. Avalanche, quick spin from Ana. The fear will be there, and that's going to force the Enchantress to run away. But Ana's in pretty deep. Still has Omnislash available. The heavy amount of damage thanks to the Demon Edge. And Crit, well, he'll stand there, and he'll tank the entire Omnislash. As the rest of EG back up behind the tier 2.
It was a good idea from S4, but he missed the toss on the Jugger. He tossed a creep instead that got in the way.
Seb, you're coming in deep, man. Like, they're under a shrine. He's got a lot more. Avalanche toss up into the arrow, and Thompson's trying to help out with the Cold Snap, pushing Sumail away. Enchantress now going to get the Sprite off. No-Tail still there. The Mana Boy, that's easy. The EMP, they're all both right. It is an absolute drought of EG. Oh, Arteezy's not going to be happy with that one. The arrow from Sumail well off target of Invoker. Coldstap's coming off cooldown right now. The Curse Brand, well, everyone stand together and gets done. Maybe there's some damage from the Bezel, but then the Forest Truck of Jirax picking on Crit. And this game has escalated quickly. Meanwhile, Ana up in Norway farming the top lane.
It feels like, I don't know how Enchantress manages to do this in her games, to just tempt everyone to try for these hard kills. If it's just a tilt effect, like you get annoyed, you're like, just kill the Enchantress, but...
Let's just get him. Let's just get him.
It's really costing EG here that they try to go for these Enchantress kills. They've got 2 on her, but how many have they failed, and how much time has that cost them?
It's cost them a lot. Juggernaut has finished a Battle Fury before the Anti-Mage.
Way before. Arteezy's not even close. He's 2,000 gold away from it right now.
The Graph in Golden Experience gets to swing up. EG has obliged OG with a lot of fights, but they need to be able to settle this game down. They need the Aghanims, they need the split push, they need the Battle Fury, they need a lot of things. But what is OG doing? Not giving them the room to breathe. Already attacking into the tier 2 tower on bottom lane.
The tempo is so high now from OG. Now they can kind of do whatever they want. Sand King will get a dagger very soon. Yep, they're going to dive on 4.
Notel stunned up continuously, but they'll still get the grab. Pull him back down again. Burrow strikes at Valve, making sure S4 does not get up the hill. Frostbite from Fly can't create enough space. And there is no other support coming in from EG. Instead it was coming from OG. And now it's a 17-minute Blink Dagger for a support SK. We're wondering how you can make these two very not financially viable supports when it's so hard 5, but this works when Durex has a Blink Dagger as fast as the normal offlaners to get them.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
Mel gets a DD.
Very uncertain about fighting against Durex even with that DD.
He was thinking about it, but didn't want to go.
Good observers and sentries from EG. Jirax, oh, he'll cop that arrow. Still under sentry. Samal can claim that kill nice and quick. And then S4, he'll jump in as well. They're going after the support and they've got him. Samal with the double kill. Turn your attention over towards Seb. It'll take a long time to attack into him. The EMP burn is also there from Thompson, making life a little bit more difficult for the Dark Willow. And Seb, he wants to battle. They have sentry versus sentry. Somebody get rid of that. Flies moving forward. You can definitely see them. They're sentries.
Oh, that's a good combo.
Really good jump in. The Bramble, he'll catch out Anna. He's got Omni Slash. He can turn around right now. There's only one creep that's there. They're doing all the spin damage into S4 that he have to burn the ultimates from Anna. He'll crit at the end.
I think S4, or sorry, not S4. I think Sumail couldn't arrow because Seth just kept running in front of him, so they couldn't combo on that to get another kill.
The observer was, bless them see. Fly, he knew he had to dodge. Moved out to the side, and then just his easy pickings.
I'd love to see a replay of that because that was so beautifully executed from EG, how they did the avalanche toss into the terrorize on the jugger. All they needed was to connect an arrow, but I think Seb just ran in front of the Sumail Mirana and he couldn't land it. That's got to be what happened, and that's huge for the outcome of that. Instead of losing their biggest core, they get 2 kills. Sure, Arteezy's getting some space, but man, this is, by his standards, super late battle period. And he had a good start, too.
Chris dead. EMP Tornado catching him up on the top, but Shadow Realm will add some protection. He's got no more mana to work with. We'll get the damage into Notel, hung around a little longer. Arrow, it flies forward. A nice long 5-second stun. Over on the Rubicon, now go down and fly. They kill off Thompson. EG, they needed something, and that's something. Seb? Okay, I'll do this solo. Maybe I won't. Anna's nearby. Arteezy. The spell, counter spell up and running. Anna's not going to take that risk of an Omni Slash. Maybe now it's time to pick up those bounty runes. 4 of them on the field. They've been there for 30 seconds. An unusual occurrence for 20-minute bounty runes.
Yep.
But there's just so much fighting with 26 kills 20 minutes into this game.
Sumail with the scouting arrow. Doesn't find anyone. If Jerax knew, he would have taken the other one, I think, as well. He gets one. And that's, I think, 3-for-1 trade on bounty runes in total. Once Anna gets his shit together and takes this one. He doesn't want it. I don't know. He wants to push the wave first. That's fine. Now he's going to take it on the way back. Farm the big camp.
And Jerax is really just trying to stay on Arteezy like a tick.
Dude, is he doing this to just annoy us? It's there. He's not baiting it either.
It's income. It's coming in value. Maybe 1 gold, but it's value.
He felt like nobody from EG was going to come and try to take that. Because it was not set up as a bait. There was nobody there that would have killed on the rim.
The alacrity buff ups up. Attack speed increased by 100, damage by 10. And Roshan, difficult to kill off. Once again, this Enchantress. Even Roshan thinks she's untouchable.
Dire scanning ready.
So what does EG do? They scan Roshan. They know what's going on, but how fast can you move over? You're gathering for a smoke, but Roshan's practically dead. 1.4k, 1k, and they're instead going for what? Nothing. TP over does nothing. They stay with the lanes.
Radiant just fortified.
And Jerax is set up bottom. They want to connect over and try to kill Arteezy probably. Never mind. He's not going to go for it. Just going to push out the wave.
Just counterspelling just in case. OG can move up through mid. It has been the name of their game throughout this tournament. 20 minutes, 22 minutes hits. Let's go high ground, boys. Anna the front liner. Alacrity him up. Able to get quick and tangle, but hey, spin's also great for mana. So Mana's getting some level of damage.
They have so much sustain. They have the Enchantress heal, they have Healing Ward. They're going to go in with the next wave. He has the spin and Electricity. They're just going to slowly chip this down. And Arteezy, in the meantime, has to try to get as much as possible. They don't want to take this fight because, realistically, OG are not favored in this.
Here we go again. Spin, attack, Fortify has to be used. Arteezy, as he said, like, he's refusing to join this fight. EG just have to hold the high ground.
They might have to lose a Rex, too, actually, before they can fight. I think Arteezy without Manta in this game is not going to be particularly useful.
Thompson's hunting. 460 move speed inside of that Ghost Walk.
Yeah.
Looking for a target, actually, just inside the smoke. Like, that's
OG
not Ghost
backing
Walk.
off, this became pretty obvious to Arteezy that something is up. But this is the thing about Crosswix Invoker compared to Sword Invoker is Invokers playing this build are generally really high on mana, so you will be looking for, okay, maybe Arteezy can come in toward the end of the fight, get a big mana void that gets kills, but if you hit the CMP on a couple of heroes, you're super high on mana the whole time. And even that won't be an option for him.
EG's coming out. Moonlight Shadow and Smoke being committed. They want to wrap around the back. They want to do something about Jirax. You probably need a ward up on this hillside to make it happen. CM's got one, both Sentry and Observer. Fly drops the Sentry to begin with, Observer straight after. But while that's been happening, there was no defense. Tier 3 tower is gone. There's even a couple of creeps to help the push go. Anna spins. Now he's going to take the melee ranks. You said EG may have to pay the price. The toss, they find one in deep. Seb under the tier 4 towers. The arrow looking to get as well, but the Omni side. S4, he's just totally stranded. Anna will find the kill. Fly trying to let it go. Anna's taking through all of this, however. The sustain. I thought EG are meant to be Captain America, but OG, they can do this all day. And the cold snap. There's nothing to follow it up. 14 HP. The Sunstrike. No, you've got no tail. He stole the blink from anti-mage. It jumps in. Of course you can do that. Finds the kill. Nice chain stun. Over on top to 5 seconds up. And there's no one from EG who can get close. Jirax comes in with the epicenter, expecting EG to engage, but they're not there. As OG look for another lane of rats. Pushing through. Crit. He's getting the chip damage into Thompson. Where's your jump? Arteezy is still farming in mid lane. He will not join. Anti-Mage is not finished farming, but S4 is dead for 70 seconds. He's losing his teammates. And what does Arteezy want to do? The answer for anti-Mage, keep on farming. What's OG gonna do?
Keep on pushing.
Sounds good to me.
There's no Tiny for 50 seconds. This is... It's over. They don't have the damage. They can't kill these heroes, I think. Jump in.
Look for your target. Marana, Samael, he's leaping the wrong direction, but he had no other choice. He tried to get the Aghanim damage out, and now he doesn't have a way free. Arteezy's trying to grab the creep waves, but they're all pushed in. The bottom lane's pushed in, which is allowing this pressure from OG up on the top. As Fly, man, Jirax, he doesn't give two hoots. He's got defensive heals that are available. Who will get some chip damage into No-Tail, but he has to fight. BKB is up for Arteezy. Now's the time, but he's getting picked up, thrown away. All that farming, and what did it achieve? Arteezy, well, he'll achieve one kill. Over onto No-Tail. He'll blink away. Regeneration is required. Salving up so they can get back to the front lines. They can't lose all these lanes of ranks. Tidying it back up again. The TP coming to the sideline. Here comes S4. Avalanche, Todd, they look towards Thompson, and maybe they got enough damage. Arteezy, the Burrow throw from Jirax. It'll connect. The spell shield. It wasn't there to actually protect it. Now S4 is stranded. It was a hallelujah play from EG, but right now the gods are on the side of OG. Seth will get himself a double kill. The two big cores have for so long. Agency model give Anna back his life. They're claiming the range rank. Megas are up 26 minutes in. EG are more than on the ropes. It's a tightrope, no net. I'm fairly certain the rope's on fire.
This happened really fast. I just want to point out how fast this happened. The game was really, really even for the first 15 minutes. And then we have this one moment where OG get multiple kills, Arteezy shows up and dies. And since then, it's been OG all the way to get the Roche. They go push with their invincible Jugger with healing.
Oh, Samael. Up in the air, Cole Snappy can leap away. This is the last chance for EG. All 5 players up. There is no racks, there's no tier 4 towers to really speak of. Just the one. Mirana jumps in, but Anna still stands his ground. Where's the attack? EG gather on the no-tail flag, looking for an opportunity, and Anna, he's begging for it. He's got mana style, he's ready to dodge. They're into the trees. RTZ blinks away, and maybe Thompson, he'll be sent up towards the air. The curse crown is there. He'll be able to get the nice chain stuff. Crystal on life. RTZ getting some clean damage. They're sent away by the terrorize. RTZ, the mana void is good, but is it good enough? The sustain from OG, it continues to run. RTZ protected by the BKB. He has to jump back in again. Crit, S4, they even get the tornado onto RTZ over in the tree line. Goodbye. The lights are going out for EG right now. Luckily, this is a winner's bracket, but OG, they will push forward to the winners final, repeating the history of TI9, 2-1ing EG in this semi-final 2.
That's, you know what? This game is anti-mage in a nutshell right now. If you have a good